Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we'll be beginning chapter number 19 from Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antilila. The title of the chapter is The Inconceivable Behavior of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripa tamam vande Shri Gurum Deen Tarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. The following summary of chapter 19 is given by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his Amrit Pravah Bhashya. Every year, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Jagadananda Pandit to visit his mother in Navadvip with gifts of cloth and prasad. After one such visit, Jagadananda Pandit returned to Puri with a sonnet that Advaitacharya had written when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu read it. His ecstasy was so great that all the devotees feared that the Lord would very soon pass away. The Lord's condition was so serious that at night he would bruise and bloody his face by rubbing it against the walls. To stop this, Swarup Damodar asked Shankar Pandit to stay at night in the same room with the Lord. This chapter further describes how Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entered the Jagannath Vallabh garden during the full moon night of Vaishakh, April/May, and experienced various transcendental ecstasies. Overwhelmed with ecstatic love at suddenly seeing Lord Krishna beneath an Ashoka tree, he exhibited various symptoms of spiritual madness. Verse 1. Vande tam Krishna Chaitanyam Matri Bhakta Shiromanim Pralapya Mukha Sangharshi Madhu Dhyane Lalasa Yaha. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the most exalted of all devotees of mothers, spoke like a madman and rubbed his face against the wall. Overwhelmed by emotions of ecstatic love, he would sometimes enter the Jagannath Vallabh garden to perform his pastimes. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Verse 2. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya, Jai Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandra, Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Lord Nityananda, all glories to Advaitacharya, and all glories to all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Verse 3. Mate Mahaprabhu Krishna Prema Veshe Urmada Pralap Kare Ratri Divase. In the ecstasy of love of Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thus behaved like a madman, talking insanely all day and night. Verse 4. Prabhur Atyanta Priya Pandit Jagadananda Yahara Charitre Prabhu Payana Ananda. Jagadananda Pandit was a very dear devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Lord derived great pleasure from his activities. Verse 5. Prati Vatsara Prabhu Tanre Pathana Nadiyate Vicheda Dukhita Jani Gyani Ashvasite. Knowing his mother to be greatly afflicted by separation, the Lord would send Jagadananda Pandit to Navadvip every year to console her. This was verse number 5. Moving to verse number 6. Nadiya Chalaha Matare Kahila Namaskar Amar Name Pad Padma Dhariha Tanhar. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Jagadananda Pandit, go to Nadia and offer my obeisances to my mother, touch her lotus feet in my name. Verse 7. Kahila Tanhare Tumi Karaha Smarana Nitya Ashi Ami Tomara Vandiye Charana. Tell her, for me, please remember that I come here every day and offer my respects to your lotus feet. Verse number 8. Ye dine tomar ichha karaite bhojana, say dine ashi avashya kariye bhakshana. Any day you desire to feed me, I certainly come and accept what you offer. Verse 9. Tomara seva chadi ami karilun sannyas, baula hena ami kailun dharma nash. I have given up service to you and have accepted the vow of sannyas. I have thus become mad and have destroyed the principles of religion. Verse 10. Ay aparadh tumi na laiha amar tomar adhin ami putra se tomar. Mother, please do not take this as an offense, for I, your son, am completely dependent on you. Verse 11. नीलाचले आछि आमी तोमार आज्ञाते यावत जीव तावत आमी नारीबा chadite. I'm staying here at Nilachal Jagannath Puri according to your order. As long as I live, I shall not leave this place. Verse 12 Gopalilaye Paila Ye Prasad Vasane Matare Pathan Taha Purir Vachane. Following the order of Paramanand Puri, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent his mother the prasad clothing left by Lord Jagannath after his pastimes as a cowherd boy. Verse 13 Jagannathera Uttam Prasad Aniya Yatane Matare Prithak Pathana Ar Bhakta Gane. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very carefully brought first class prasad from Lord Jagannath and sent it in a separate packages to his mother and the devotees at Nadia. Verse 14 Matri Bhakta Ganera Prabhu Hena Shiromani Sanyasa Kariya Sada Sevana Janani. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the topmost gem of all devotees of mothers. He rendered service to his mother even after he had accepted the vow of sannyas. Verse 15 Jagadananda Nadiya Giya Matare Milila Prabhura Yet Nivedana Sakala Kahila. Jagadananda Pandit thus returned to Nadia, and when he met Shachi Mata, he conveyed to her all the Lord's salutations. This was the translation from verse 15, moving to verse 16. Acharyadi Bhakta Gane Milila Prasad Diya Mata Thani Agya Laila Maseka Rahiya. He then met all the other devotees headed by Advaitacharya and gave them the prasad of Jagannath. After staying for 1 month, he took permission from Mother Shachi to leave. Verse 17 Acharyera Thani Giya Ajna, should I say Ajna or should I say Agya? I'm not pretty sure about the Bengali pronunciation. I will just say Agya Magila Acharya Goswami Prabhure Sandesh Kahila. When he went to Advaitacharya and also asked his permission to return, Advaita Prabhu gave him a message to deliver to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Verse 18 Tarja Praheli Acharya Kahena Thare Thore Prabhu Matra Bujhena Keha Bujite Na Pare. Advaitacharya had written a sonnet in equivocal language with an import that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could understand but others could not. Verse 19 Prabhure Kahiha Amar Koti Namaskar E Nivedana Tanra Charane Amar. In his sonnet, Advaita Prabhu first offered his obeisances hundreds and thousands of times unto the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He then submitted the following statement at his lotus feet. Moving to verse 20. Baulake kahiha lok haila baula, baulake kahiha hate na vikai chaula. Please inform Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is acting like a madman, that everyone here has become mad like him. Inform him also that in the marketplace rice is no longer in demand. Verse 21. Baulake kahiha kai nahika aula, baulake kahiha iha kahiyache baula. Those now mad in ecstatic love are no longer interested in the material world. Tell Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that Advaitacharya, who has also become a madman in ecstatic love, has spoken these words. Verse 22. Etashuni Jagdananda hasite lagila nila chale ashitabe prabhure kahila. When he heard Advaitacharya's statement, Jagadananda Pandit began to laugh, and when he returned to Jagannath Puri, Nilachal he informed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu of everything. Verse 23 Taraja Shuni Mahaprabhu Ishat Hasila Tanra Ye Ajna Bali Maun Dharila. After hearing the equivocal sonnet by Advaitacharya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quietly smiled. That is his order, he said. Then he fell silent. Verse 24 Jani Yao Swarupa Gosani Prabhure Puchila Ei Tarajar Arth Bujite Narila. Although he knew the secret, Swarup Damodar Goswami inquired from the Lord, what is the meaning of this sonnet? I could not understand it. Verse 25 Prabhu Kahena Acharya हाय पूजक प्रबल आगम शास्त्रेर विधि विधाने कुशल. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, Advaitacharya is a great worshipper of the Lord and is very expert in the regulative principles enjoined in the Vedic literatures. Verse 26, Upasana lagi devera karena avhan, puja lagi keta kala karena nirodhana. Advaitacharya invites the Lord to come and be worshipped, and to perform the worship he keeps the deity for some time. Verse 27, Puja nirvahana haile pache karena visarjan, Tarajar na jani artha kiva tanramana. After the worship is completed, he sends the deities somewhere else. I do not know the meaning of this sonnet, nor do I know what is in Advaita Prabhu's mind. Verse 28, Mahayogeshwaracharya tarajate samartha amiha bhujite nari tarajar artha. Advaitacharya is a great mystic. No one can understand him. He is expert in writing sonnets that even I myself cannot understand. Verse 29, Shunya Vismit Haila Sab Bhakta Gana Swarup Gosani Kichu Haila Vimana. Vimana is morose. Hearing all this, all the devotees were astonished, especially Swarup Damodar, who became somewhat morose. Verse 30, Sayyidina Haite Prabhura Ara Dasha Haila Krishnera Vicheda Dasha Dviguna Badila. From that day on, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's emotional state changed markedly. His feelings of separation from Krishna doubled in intensity. This was verse 30. Verse 31, Udmad pralap cheshta kare ratri dine radha bhava veshe viraha bade anukshane. As his feelings of separation in the ecstasy of Srimati Radharani increased at every moment, the Lord's activities both day and night were now wild, insane performances. This was verse 31. Verse 32, Achambite Sphure Krishnera Mathura Gamana Udghurna Dasha Haila Unmad Lakshana. Suddenly there awoke within Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu the scene of Lord Krishna's departure to Mathura, and he began exhibiting the symptoms of ecstatic madness known as Udghurna. Verse 33, Udghurna Lakshana is the symptoms of madness. Verse 33, Ramanandera Galadhari Karena Pralapana Swarupe Puchena Mani Nij Sakhi Gana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke like a madman, holding Ramananda Rai by neck, and he questioned Swarup Damodar, thinking him to be his gopi friend. Remember, Ramananda Rai and Swarup Damodar are Lalita and Vishakha Sakhis. So Lord is in the ecstasy, is behaving like a madman, and he's in the same mood as Radharani was, Srimati Radharani was when Krishna left for Mathura. So he's exhibiting same emotional state. Verse 34, Purve yena vishakhare radhika puchila sei shloka padi pralap karite lagila. Just as Srimati Radharani inquired from a personal friend Vishakha, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, reading that very verse, began speaking like a madman. Verse 35, Kwananda kula chandra maha kwas shikhi chandra kalan kritihi kwa mandra murali ravaha kwanu surendra neela dyutihi Koras rasa tandavi kwasakhi jiva rakshaw shadhir nidhir mama surit maha kwabata hanta ha dhig vidhim. It should be kwabata hanta ha dhig vidhim. Dhig vidhim, condemnation to Vidhi, the maker of my destiny. Bata, I am so sorry. Hata, alas. Ha, oh. My dear friend, where is Krishna, who is like the moon rising from the ocean of Maharaj Nand's dynasty? Where is Krishna, his head decorated with a peacock feather? Where is he? Where is Krishna, whose flute produces such a deep sound? Oh, where is Krishna, whose bodily luster is like the luster of the blue Indranila jewel? Where is Krishna, who is so expert in rasa dancing? Oh, where is he who can save my life? Kindly tell me where to find Krishna, the treasure of my life and best of my friends. Feeling separation from him, I hereby condemn Providence, the shaper of my destiny. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This verse is found in the Lalit Madhav 3.25 of Srila Rupa Goswami, verse 36. Brajendra Kula Dugdha Sindhu Krishna Tahe Purna Indu Janmi Kaila Jagat Ujora Kanti Amrita Yeba Piye Nirantara Piya Jiye Vraja Janera Naina Chakora. The family of Maharaj Nanda is just like an ocean of milk wherein Lord Krishna has arisen like the full moon to illuminate the entire universe. The eyes of the residents of Vraja are like Chakora birds that continuously drink the nectar of his bodily luster and thus live peacefully. This was verse 36. Verse 37. Sakhi hai kotha Krishna karaha darshana Shane ki yahar mukha na dekhile phate buka Shigra dekhaha na rahe jivana. My dear friend, where is Krishna? Kindly let me see him. My heart breaks at not seeing his face even for a moment. Kindly show him to me immediately, otherwise I cannot live. Verse 38. Ei Vrajera Ramani Kamarka Tapta Kumudini Nij Karamrita Diya Dan Prafullit Kare Yai Kahan Mora Chandra Se Dekha Sakhi Rakha Mora Prana. The women of Vrindavan are just like lilies growing hot in the sun of lusty desires, but moon-like Krishna makes them all jubilant by bestowing upon them the nectar of his hands. Oh my dear friend, where is my moon now? Save my life by showing him to me. Verse 39. Kahan se chudara thama shiki pinchera udana nava meghe yena indra dhanu pitambara tadid Dyuti Mukta Mala Baka Panti Navambuddha Jini Shyam Tanu. Navambuddha is a new rain cloud. Jini conquering. My dear friend, where is that beautiful helmet with a peacock feather upon it like a rainbow upon a new cloud? Where are those yellow garments shining like lightning? And where is that necklace of pearls that resembles flocks of ducks flying in the sky? The blackish body of Krishna triumphs over the new blackish rain cloud. Verse 40. Ek bar yar nayne lage sada tar hridaye jage Krishna tanu yena amra atha nari mane paishe haye yatne nahi bahiraye tanu nahe seya kulera kanta. If a person's eyes even once capture that beautiful body of Krishna's, it remains always prominent within his heart. Krishna's body resembles the sap of the mango tree, for when it enters the minds of women, it will not come out despite great endeavor. Thus, Krishna's extraordinary body is like a thorn of the seya berry tree. Verse 41. Jiniya tamal diti indranila samakanti se kantite jagat mataye shringar rasasar chani tate chandra jyotsana sani jani vidhi niramila taya. Krishna's bodily luster shines like the Indranil gem and surpasses the luster of the tamal tree. The luster of his body drives the entire world mad because Providence has made it transparent by refining the essence of the mellow of conjugal love and mixing it with the moonshine. Verse 42. Kahan se murli dhvani nava bhra garjita jini jagat akarshe shravane yahar uthi dhaya vraje jana trishita chatak gana ashi piye kanti amrit dhar. The deep vibration of Krishna's flute surpasses the thundering of new clouds and attracts the oral reception of the entire world. Thus the inhabitants of the Vrindavan rise and pursue that sound, drinking the showering nectar of Krishna's bodily luster like thirsty chatak birds. Verse 43. More say Kala Nidhi Prana Raksha Mahaushadhi Sakhi More Tenho Surittama Deha Jiye Tanha Vine Dik E Jivane Vidhi Kare Eta Vidambana. Krishna is the reservoir of art and culture, and he is the panacea that saves my life. Oh, my dear friends, since I live without him, who is the best among my friends? I condemn the duration of my life. I think that providence has cheated me in many ways. Verse 44, Ye jana jite nahi chaya, tare kene jiyaye, विधि प्रति उठे क्रोध शोके विधिरे करे भर्त्सना कृष्णे देने उलाहना पड़ी भागवतेर एक श्लोक. Chaya means does not want. Why does Providence continue the life of one who does not wish to live? This thought aroused anger and lamentation. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then read a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam that chastises Providence and makes an accusation against Krishna. Aho vidhatas tava na kvachit daya samyojya maitreya pranayena dehinah tamsh chakritarthan Vyunakshi aparhakam vicheshtitam te arabhak cheshtitam yatha. O Providence, you have no mercy. You bring embodied souls together through friendship and affection, but before their desires are fulfilled, you separate them. Your activities are like the foolish pranks of children. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. This verse quoted from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.39.19 was chanted by the damsels of Vraja when Krishna left Vrindavan for Mathura with Akrur and Balaram. The gopis lamented that Providence had made it possible for them to meet Krishna and Balaram in affection and love and had then separated them. Verse 46. Na jani se prema marma vyartha karis parishrama तोर चेष्टा बालक समान तोर यदि लाग पाइये तबे तोरे शिक्षा दिए एमन येन ना करिस विधान. Providence, you do not know the purport of loving affairs and therefore you baffle all our endeavors. This is very childish of you. If we could catch you, we would give you such a lesson that you would never again make such arrangements. Verse 47. अरे विधि तुई बड़े निठुर अन्यो अन्य दुर्लभ जन प्रेमे कारण सम्मिलन अकृतार्थान केने करिस दूर. O cruel Providence, you are very unkind, for you bring in love people who are rarely in touch with each other. Then after you have made them meet, but before they are fulfilled, you again spread them far apart. Verse 48. अरे विधि अकरुणा देखना कृष्णना नेत्र मन लोभाइला मोर क्षणे के करिते पान काड़ी नील अन्य स्थान पाप कैली दत्त अपहार. O Providence, you are so unkind. You reveal the beautiful face of Krishna and make the mind and eyes greedy. But after they have drunk that nectar for only a moment, you whisk Krishna away to another place. This is a great sin, because you thus take away what you have given as charity. Verse 49. Akrur kare tomar dosh, amay ken kar rosh, iha yadi kaha durachar, tui akrur murti dhari, Krishna nili churi kari, anyer nahe aiche vyavhar. O misbehaved Providence, if you reply to us, Akrur is actually at fault, why are you angry with me? Then I say to you, Providence, you have taken the form of Akrur and have stolen Krishna away. No one else would behave like this. Verse 50. Apanar karma dosha tore kiva kari rosha toya moya sambandha vidura ye amar pran nath ekatra rahi yan rasat say Krishna haila nithura. But this is the fault of my own destiny. Why should I needlessly accuse you? There is no intimate relationship between you and me. Krishna, however, is my life and soul. It is he who lived together and it is he who has become so cruel. Verse 51. Sabate ji bhaji yanre se apan hate mare nari vadhe Krishna nahi bhaya ताम्र लागी आमी मरी उलटी ना चाहे हरि क्षण मात्रे भांगिला प्रणय. He for whom I have left everything is personally killing me with his own hands. Krishna has no fear of killing women. Indeed, I'm dying for him. But he doesn't even turn back to look at me. Within a moment, he has broken off all loving affairs. This is verse 51. Verse 52. Krishna kene kari rosha apana durdaiva dosha pakila mora e papa phala ye Krishna mora prema dhina tare kaila udasina e mora abhagya prabala. This is verse 52. Yet why should I be angry with Krishna? It is the fault of my own misfortune. The fruit of my sinful activities has ripened, and therefore Krishna, who has always been dependent on my love, is now indifferent. This means that my misfortune is very strong. Verse 53. E mata gaura rai vishade kare hai hai. Haha Krishna tumi gela kati keti, or is this kati गोपी भाव हृदये तार वाक्ये विलापये गोविंद दामोदर माधवेति. In this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lamented in the mood of separation, Alas, alas, O Krishna, where have you gone? Where have you gone? Tumi gela keti. Feeling in his heart the ecstatic emotions of the gopis, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu agonized in their words, saying, O Govinda, O Damodara, O Madhav. Verse 54. Tabe Swarup Ram Rai Kari Nana Upay Mahaprabhura Kare Ashvasana Gayena Sangam Gita Prabhura Piraila Chita Prabhura Kichu Sthira Haila Mana. Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Rai then devised various means to pacify the Lord. They sang songs of meeting that transformed his heart and made his mind peaceful. This was verse 54. Now verse 55. E mata vilapite ardharatri gela gambhirate swarup gosani prabhure shoaila. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lamented in this way, half the night passed, then Swarup Damodar made the Lord lie down in the room known as the Gambhira. Verse 56. Prabhure Shoyana Ramananda Gela Ghare Swarup Govinda Shuila Gambhirar Dware. After the Lord was made to lie down, Ramananda Rai returned home, and Swarup Damodar and Govinda lay down at the door of the Gambhira. Verse 57. Prema Veshe Mahaprabhu Gara Gara Mana Nama Sankirtana Kari Karena Jagrana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed awake all night chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, his mind overwhelmed by spiritual ecstasy. Verse 58. Virahe Vyakula Prabhu Udvege Utila Gambhirar Bhite Mukha Ghasite Gashite Lagila. Feeling separation from Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so distraught that in great anxiety he stood up and began rubbing his face against the walls of the Gambhira. This was verse 58. Verse 59. Mukhe Gane Nake Shata Haila Apar Bhava Veshe Na Jane Na Prabhu Pade Rakta Dhar. Blood oozed from the many injuries on his mouth, nose, and cheeks. But due to his ecstatic emotions, the Lord did not know it. This was verse 59. Verse 60 now. Sarvaratri karena bhave mukha sangharshana gona gona shabda karena swarupa shunila takana. In ecstasy, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rubbed his face against the walls of all night long, making a peculiar sound, gon, gon, which Swarup Damodar could hear through the door. Verse 61. दीप ज्वाली घरे गेला देखी प्रभुर मुख स्वरूप गोविंद दुन्हार हाइला बड़ा दुख. Lighting a lamp, Swarup Damodar and Govinda entered the room. When they saw the Lord's face, both of them were full of sorrow. This is verse 61. Verse 62. Prabhure shayyate ani susthira karaila kanhe kaila e tumi swarup puchila. They brought the Lord to his bed, calmed him down, and then asked, Why have you done this to yourself? Verse 63. Prabhu kahena उद्वेगे घरे न पारी रहते द्वार चाही बुली शीघ्र बहिरन आयते. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, I was in such an anxiety that I could not stay in the room. I wanted to go out, and therefore I wandered about the room looking for the door. Verse 64. Dwar nahi pana mukha lage chari bhite kshata haya rakta pade na pai yaite. Unable to find the door, I kept hitting the four walls with my face My face was injured and it bled, but still could not get out. Verse 65. Unmad Dashaya Prabhu sthir nahi mana. Yai kare yai bole sab unmad lakshana. In this state of madness, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mind was unsteady. Whatever he said or did was all symptomatic of madness. Verse 66. Swarup Gosani tabe chinta paila mane. Bhakta gana lena vichara kaila ar dine. Swarup Damodar was very anxious, but then he had an idea. The following day, he and other devotees considered it together. Verse 67. Sava bhakta meli tabe prabhure sadhila, Shankara pandite prabhura sange shoyaila. This is verse 67. After consulting with one another, they entreated Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to allow Shankar Pandit to lie down in the same room with him. Verse 68. Prabhupada Tale Shankar Karena Shayana, Prabhu Tanra Upara Karena Pada Prasarana. Thus Shankar Pandit lay at the feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Lord placed his legs upon Shankar's body. Verse 69 now. Prabhu Pado Padhan Bali Tanra Nam Haila Purve Vidure Yena Shri Shuka Varnila. Shankar became celebrated by the name the pillow of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was like Vidur as Shukadev Goswami previously described him. This is verse 69. Moving to verse 70. Iti Bruvanam Viduram Vinitam Sahasra Shishanash Charano Padhanam Praharishta Roma Bhagvat Kathayam Praniyamano Punir Abhyachashta. When submissive Vidur, the resting place of the legs of Lord Krishna, had spoken to Maitreya, Maitreya began speaking, his hair standing on end due to the transcendental pleasure of discussing topics concerning Lord Krishna. Purport. This is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam 3.13.5. This was verse 70. Moving to verse 71. Shankar Karena Prabhura Pada Samvahana Ghumana Padena Taiche Karena Shayana. Shankar massaged the legs of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but while massaging he would fall asleep and thus lie down. Verse 72. Ughad Ange Padiya Shankar Nidra Yaya Prabhu Uthi Apana Kantha Tahare Jadai. Apana Kantha, his own quilt, Tahare Jadai, wraps him around. He would lie asleep without a covering on his body, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would get up and wrap him with his own quilt. Verse 73. Nirantar Ghumaye Shankar Shigra Chetana Vasi Pad Chapi Kare Ratri Jagrana. Shankar Pandit would always fall asleep, but he would quickly awaken, sit up, and again begin massaging the legs of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In this way, he would stay awake the entire night. Verse 74. Tanra Bhaye Narena Prabhu Bahire Yaite Tanra Bhaye Narena Bitye Mukhabja Gashite. Out of fear of Shankar, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could neither leave his room nor rub his lotus-like face against the walls. This was verse 74. Verse 75 now. Ei Leela Mahaprabhure Raghunath Das Gauranga Stva Kalpa Vrikshe Kariyache Prakash. This pastime of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has been described very nicely by Raghunath Das Goswami in his book known as Gauranga Stva Kalpa Vriksha. Verse 76. Swakiyasya Pranar Buddha Sadrisha Goshthasya Virhat Pralapan Urmadat Satatam Ati Kurvan Vikaladhi Dadhad Bittav Shashwad Vadana Vidhu Gharshena Rudhiram Kshato Gorango Hridaya Udayan Mam Madayati. Because of separation from his many friends in Vrindavan who were like his own life, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke like a madman. His intelligence was transformed day and night. He rubbed his moon-like face against the walls and blood flowed from the injuries. May that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rise in my heart and make me mad with love. This is verse 76. Verse 77. Ei mata Mahaprabhu Ratri Divase Prema Sindhu Magna Rahe Kabhu Dube Bhase. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this way stayed immersed day and night in an ocean of ecstatic love for Krishna. Sometimes he was submerged and sometimes he floated. Verse 78. Ek Kale Vaishakher Purnamasi Dine Ratri Kale Mahaprabhu Chalila Udyane. One full moon night in the month of Vaishak, April and May, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to a garden. Verse 79. Jagannath Vallabh Nam Udyan Pradhane Pravesh Karila Prabhu Lena Bhakta Gane. The Lord, along with his devotees, entered one of the nicest gardens called Jagannath Vallabh. Verse 80. Prafullita Vriksha Valli Yena Vrindavan Shuka Shari Peek Bringa Kare Alapana. In the gardens were fully blossomed trees and creepers exactly like those in Vrindavan. Bumblebees and birds like the Shuka, Shari and Pika talked with one another. Verse 81. Pushpa Gandha Lena Vahe Malaya Pavana Guru Hena Taru Lataye Shikhaye Nachana. A mild breeze was blowing, carrying the fragrance of aromatic flowers. The breeze had become a guru and was teaching all the trees and creepers how to dance. In the earlier verse 80, Vrikshavalli means trees and the creepers. And Prafullit was in verse 80, meaning blossomed. Verse 82, Purna Chandra Chandri Kaya Parama Ujjwala Taru Latadi Jyotsnaya Kare Jalamala. Chandrikai, by the shine. Brightly illuminated by the full moon, the trees and creepers glittered in the light. Verse 83. Chaya Ritu Gana Yahan Vasanta Pradhan Dekhi Anandita Aila Gaura Bhagwan. The 6 seasons, especially spring, seemed present there. Seeing the garden, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was very happy. Verse 84. Lalit Lavangalata Pada Gao Yana Nritya Kari Bulena Prabhu Nij Gana Lena. In this atmosphere, the Lord had his associates sing a verse from the Geet Govind, the beginning with the words Lalit Lavangalata, as he danced and wandered about with them. This is verse 84. Verse 85. Prati Vriksha Valli Aiche Brahmite Brahmite Ashokera Tale Krishna Dekhena Achambite. As he thus wandered around every tree and creeper, he came beneath an Ashoka tree and suddenly saw Lord Krishna. Verse 86. Krishna Dekhi Mahaprabhu Dhana Chalila Age Dekhi Hasi Krishna Antara Dhana Haila. When he saw Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began running very swiftly, but Krishna smiled and disappeared. Verse 87. Age Paila Krishne Tanre Punaha Harana Bhumete Padila Prabhu Murchit Hena. This is verse 87. Having first gotten Krishna, then having lost him again, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fell to the ground unconscious. Verse 88. Krishnera Shri Anga Gandhe Bhariche Udyane Sai Gandha Pana Prabhu Haile Achetane. The entire garden was filled with the scent of Lord Sri Krishna's transcendental body. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu smelled it, he fell unconscious at once. Verse 89. Nirantara Nasai Pashe Krishna Parimala Gandha Aswadite Prabhu Haila Pagala. The scent of Krishna's body, however, incessantly entered his nostrils, and the Lord became mad to relish it. Verse 90. Krishna Gandha Lubdha Radha Sakhire Ye Kahila Say Shloka Padi Prabhu Arth Karila. Srimati Radharani expressed to her gopi friends how she hankers for the transcendental scent of Krishna's body. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recited that same verse and made its meaning clear. Verse 91. Kuranga Mata Jid Vapuhu Pari Malormi Krishtanganaha Swakanga Nalinashtake Shashi Yutabja Gandha Prathaha मदेन्दुवरः चन्दनागुरु सुगन्धि चर्चा चित्तः समे मदन मोहनः सखी तनोति नासा स्पृहाम. Nasa spriham, the desire of my nostrils. Kuranga Madachit, conquering the aromatic smell of musk. Vapu of his transcendental body. The scent of Krishna's transcendental body surpasses the aroma of musk and attracts the minds of all women. The 8 lotus-like parts of his body distribute the fragrance of lotuses mixed with that of camphor. His body is anointed with aromatic substances like musk, camphor, sandalwood, and aguru. O my dear friend, that personality of Godhead, also known as the enchanter of Cupid, always increases the desire of my nostrils. Purport. This is a verse found in Govinda Lilamrit 8.6. Now was verse 91, now verse 92. Kasturi ke nilotpala तार ये परिमल ताहा जिनी कृष्ण अंग गंध व्यापे 14 भुवने करे सर्व आकर्षणे नारी गणेरा आँखी करे अंध. The scent of Krishna's body surpasses the fragrances of musk and the bluish lotus flowers spreading throughout the 14 worlds. It attracts everyone and makes the eyes of all women blind. Verse 93. Sakhi he Krishna gandha jagat mataya narir nasate pashe sarva kal tahan vaise Krishna pash dhari lena yai. My dear friend, the scent of Krishna's body enchants the entire world. It especially enters the nostrils of women and remains seated there. Thus it captures them and forcibly brings them to Krishna. This was verse 93. Verse 94. Netra nabhi vadana kara yuga charana ei ashta padma Krishna ange karpura lipta kamala tara yaiche parimala say gandha ashta padma sange. Krishna's eyes, navel and face, hands and feet are like 8 lotus flowers on his body. From those 8 lotuses emanates a fragrance like a mixture of camphor and lotus. That is the scent associated with his body. That's verse 94. Verse 95. Hema kilita chandana taha kari gharshana tahe aguru kunkuma kasturi karpura sane charcha ange purva angera gandha sange mili tare yena kaila churi. When sandalwood pulp and aguru, kunkuma and musk is mixed with camphor and spread on Krishna's body, it combines with Krishna's own original body perfume and seems to cover it. In another version, that the last line of this verse reads, Kama devera mana kaila churi. This means the scent of all these substances mixes with the previous scent of Krishna's body and steals away the mind of Cupid. Verse 96. Hare narira tanu mana nasa kare ghurnana khasaya nivi chutaya kesha bandha kariya aage bauri nachaya jagat nari hen dakaitiya krishnanga gandha. The scent of Krishna's transcendental body is so attractive that it enchants the bodies and the minds of all women. It bewilders their nostrils, loosens their belts and hair, and makes them mad women. All the women of the world come under its influence, and therefore the scent of Krishna's body is like a plunderer. Verse 97. Sai gandha vasha nasa sada kare gandher asha kabhu paya kabhu nahi paye paile piya pet bhare Pina pina tabu kare na paile trishnaya mariyaye. Falling completely under its influence, the nostrils yearn for it continuously although sometimes they obtain it and sometimes not. When they do, they drink their fill, though they still want more and more, but if they don't, out of thirst, they die. Verse 98. Madana Mohana Nata Pasari Gandher Hata Jagannari Grihake Lobhaya Vina Mulye Deya Gandha Gandha Diya Kare Andha Ghar Yaite Patha Nahi Paye The dramatic actor Madan Mohan has opened a shop of scents that attract the women of the world to his customers. He delivers the scents freely, but they make the women also blind that they cannot find the path returning home. Verse 99. E mata gaurahari gandhe kaila mana churi भृंग प्राय इत्युति धाय याय वृक्ष लता पाशे कृष्ण स्फुरे सई आशे कृष्ण न पाए गंध मात्र पाए. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his mind, thus stolen by that scent, ran here and there like a bumblebee. He ran to the trees and plants, hoping that Lord Krishna would appear, but instead he found only the scent of Krishna's body. This was verse 99. Now, verse 100. Swarup Ramananda Rai Prabhu Nache Sukha Paye. E mate pratah kal haila Swarup Ramananda Rai Kari Nana Upaye. Mahaprabhu Bahya Spurti Kaila. Both Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Rai sang to the song to the Lord, who danced and enjoyed happiness until the morning arrived. Then they devised a plan to revive the Lord to external consciousness. Verse 101. Matri Bhakti Pralapana Bhitye Mukha Gharshana Krishna Gandha Sfurte Divya Nritye E Chari Leela Bhede Gaila E Parichede Krishnadas Rup Gosani Bhritya. This I, Krishnadas, the servant of Srila Rupa Goswami, have sung of 4 divisions of the Lord's pastimes in these chapters: the Lord's devotion to his mother, his words of madness, his rubbing his face against the walls at night, and his dancing at the appearance of Lord Krishna's fragrance. Purport to this verse number 101. Srila Prabhupada Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that he has been able to describe these 4 pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by the blessings of Sri Rupa Goswami. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was not actually a direct disciple of Srila Rupa Goswami, but he followed the instructions given by Srila Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. He therefore acted according to the directions of Rupa Goswami and prayed in every chapter for his mercy. Verse 102. E mata Mahaprabhu Pana Chetana Snana Kari Kaila Jagannath Darshana. This is verse 102. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thus returned to consciousness. He then bathed and went to see Lord Jagannath. Verse 103. Alauki Krishna Leela Divya Shakti Tara Tarkera Gochara Nahi Charitra Yahar. The pastimes of Lord Krishna are uncommonly full of transcendental potency. It is a characteristic of such pastimes that they do not fall within the jurisdiction of experimental logic and arguments. This was verse 103. Moving to verse 104. E prema sada jage yahar antare panditeh tar cheshta bujite na pare. When transcendental love of Krishna awakens in one's heart, even a learned scholar cannot comprehend one's activities. Verse 105. Dhanyasya yayam navah prema yasyon milati chetasi antarvani bhir api yasya mudra sushtu sudragama. Sushtu is exceedingly. This is 105. The translation goes like this: that activities and symptoms of that exalted personality in whose heart love of Godhead has awakened cannot be understood even by the most learned scholar. Purport: this verse is quoted from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.4.17, verse 106. Alaukik Prabhura Cheshta Pralap Shuniya Tarkana Kariha Shuna Vishwasa Kariya. The activities of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are undoubtedly uncommon, especially his talking like a madman. Therefore, one who hears of these pastimes should not put forward mundane arguments. He should simply hear the pastimes with full faith. Verse 107. Ihar satyatve pramana Shri Bhagavate Shri Radhar prema pralap brahmar gitate. The evidence of the truth of these talks is found in Srimad Bhagavatam. There in the section of the 10th canto known as Brahmar Geet, the song to the bumblebee, Srimati Radharani speaks insanely in ecstatic love for Krishna. Purport: when Uddhav arrived from Mathura carrying a message for the gopis began talking about Krishna and crying. Then one important gopi saw a bumblebee and began speaking to it like someone mad, thinking that the bee was a messenger of Uddhav's or was someone very dear to him and Krishna. The verses are as follows. Bhagavatam 10th canto 47th chapter verses 12 to 21. Madhup kitava bandho bas sprisha स्पृशाङ्घ्रिं सप्तन्याः कुच विलुलिता माला कुङ्कुम शमशुरुभिर्नः वहतु मधुपतिस्तन्मानीनां प्रसादां यदु सदसि विडम्बयं यस्य दूतस्त्वम् इद्रिक्. My dear Bumblebee, you are very cunning friend of Uddhav and Krishna. You are very expert in touching people's feet, but I am not going to be misled by this. You appear to have sat on the breast of one of Krishna's friends, for I see that you have kunkuma dust on your moustache. Krishna is now engaged in flattering all his young girlfriends in Mathura. Therefore, now that he can be called a friend of the residents of Mathura, he does not need the help of the residents of Vrindavan. As he, what he is the use of your presence here? Since you are the messenger of such a person as he, what is the use of your presence here? Certainly Krishna would be ashamed of your presence in this assembly. How has Krishna offended the gopis so that they want to reject him from their minds? The answer is given as follows. Sakrid adhar sudham swam mohinim payayitva sumnasa eva sadyas tat yaje asman bhavadrik paricharati katham tatapad padam nu padma hi api bata rita cheta uttama shloka jalapaiha. Krishna no longer gives us the enchanting nectar of his lips. Instead, he now gives the nectar to the women of Mathura. Krishna directly attracts our minds. Yet he resembles a bumblebee like you because he gives up the association of a beautiful flower and goes to a flower that is inferior. That is the way Krishna has treated us. I do not know why the goddess of fortune continues to serve his lotus feet. Instead of leaving him aside, apparently she believes in Krishna's false words. We gopis, however, are not unintelligent like Lakshmi. After hearing the bumblebee's sweet songs and recognizing that the bee was singing about Krishna for her satisfaction, the gopi replied, Kim iha bahu shadang ghre gayasi tvam yadunam adhipatim agrihanam agrato naha puraram Vijaya Sakhinam Giyatam Tat Prasangah Kshapita Kucharujas Te Kalapayantishtam Ishta. Dear Bumblebee, Lord Krishna has no residence here, but we know him as Yadupati, the king of the Yadu dynasty. We know him very well, and therefore we are not interested in hearing any more songs about him. It would be better for you to go sing to those who are now very dear to Krishna. Those women of Mathura have now achieved the opportunity to be embraced by him. They are his beloveds now, and therefore he has relieved the burning in their breasts. If you go there and sing your songs to those fortunate women, they will be very pleased and they will honor you. Divi bhuvi cha rasayam kaha striyastad durapaha kapat ruchir hasa bhruvi jrim bhasya yahasyuha charana raja upasate yasya bhutir vayam ka api cha kripana pakshe hi uttama shloka shabdah. O collector of honey, Krishna must be very sorry not to see you gopis. Surely he is afflicted by memories of our pastimes. Therefore he has sent you as a messenger to satisfy us. Do not speak to us. All the women in the three worlds where death is inevitable, the heavenly, middle and lower planets, are very easily available to Krishna because his curved eyebrows are so attractive. Moreover, he is always served faithfully by the goddess of fortune. In comparison with her, we are most insignificant. Indeed, we are nothing. Yet, although he is very cunning, Krishna is also very charitable. You may inform him that he is praised for his kindness to the unfortunate persons, that he is therefore known as Uttam Shloka, one who is praised by chosen words and verses. Visrija Shirasi Padam Vedami Aham Chatu Karyer Arunya Vidushas Te Bhayetya Dauter Mukundat Swakrit Iha Vishri Tatpatya Pati Anya Loka Vesri Jad Akrita Chetaha Kimnu Sandheyam Asmin. You are buzzing at my feet just to be forgiven for your past offenses. Kindly go away from my feet. I know that Mukunda has taught you to speak very sweet, flattering words like this and to act as his messenger. These are certainly clever tricks, my dear Bumblebee, but I can understand them. This is Krishna's offense. Do not tell Krishna that I have said, although I know that you are very envious. We gopis have given up our husbands, our sons, and all the religious principles that promise better births, and now we have no other business than serving Krishna. Yet Krishna, by controlling his mind, has easily forgotten us. Therefore, don't speak of him anymore. Let us forget our relationship. Mrigayor iva kapindram vivyadhe lubdha dharma Striyam akrita virupam stri jitah kamayanam balim api balim atva veshtayad dhavan kshavad yas tad alam asit sakher dushtyjas tat kathar thaha. When we remember the past births of Krishna, my dear Bumblebee, we are very afraid of him. In his incarnation as Lord Ramchandra, he acted like a hunter and unjustly killed his friend Vali. Lusty Shurpanakha came to satisfy Ramchandra's desires, but he was so attached to Sita Devi that he cut off Shurpanakha's nose. In his incarnation as Vamandev, he plundered Bali Maharaj and took all his possessions, cheating him on the pretext of accepting worship from him. Vamandev caught Bali Maharaj exactly as one catches a crow. My dear Bumblebee, it is not very good to make friends with such a person. I know that once one begins to talk about Krishna, it is very difficult to stop, and I admit that I have insufficient strength to give up talking about him. Yad anucharita leela karna piyusha viprut sakrid adana vidhuta dvandva dharma vinashtaha sapadi griha kutumbam deenam utsrijya deena bahava iha vihanga bhikshu charayam charanti. Topics about Krishna are so powerful that they destroy the four religious principles: religion, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. Anyone who drinks even a small drop of Krishna Katha through oral reception is freed from all material attachment and envy. Like a bird with no means of subsistence, such a person becomes a mendicant and lives by begging. Ordinary household affairs become miserable for him, and without attachment, he suddenly gives up everything. Although such renunciation is quite suitable, because I am a woman, I am unable to adopt it. Vayam ritam eva jihma vyahritam Shraddha Dhanaha Kuli Karutam Ivanjanaha Krishna Vadho Hiranyaha Dadrishur Askrid Etat Tannakha Sprash Tavira Smara Ruja Upamantrin Bharnya Yatam Anya Varta. O my dear messenger, I'm just like a foolish bird that hears the sweet songs of a hunter, believes in them due to simplicity, and is then pierced in the heart and made to suffer all kinds of miseries because we believed in Krishna's words. We have suffered great pain. Indeed, the touch of Krishna's nails has injured our faces. He has caused us so much pain, therefore you should not give up. You should give up topics concerning him and talk about something else. After hearing all these statements from Srimati Radhika, the bumblebees left and then returned. After some thought, the gopi said, Priya Sakha Punar Agaha Prayasa Preshitaha Kim Vraya Kim Anurundhe Mananiyo Asi Me Anga Nayasi Katham Ihasman Dusteja Dvandva Pashavam Satatam Urasi Saumya Shrir Vadhuh Sakam Ste. You are Krishna's very dear friend, and by his order you have come here again. Therefore you are worshipable for me. O best of messengers, tell me now, what is your request? What do you want? Krishna cannot give up conjugal love. and therefore I understand that you have come here to take us to him. But how will you do that? We know how many goddesses of fortunes now reside at Krishna's chest, and they constantly serve Krishna better than we can, praising the bumblebee for his sobriety. She began to speak in great jubilation. Api bata madhu puryam arya putro duna aste smarati sa pitri gehan saumya bandhumscha gopan. क्वचिद् अपि स कथा नः किङ्करीणां गृणीते भुजम् अगुरु सुगन्धं मूर्धनि adhasyat kadanu. Krishna is now living like a gentleman at the Gurukul in Mathura, forgetting all the gopis of Mathura. But does he not remember the sweet house of his father Nand Maharaj? We are all naturally his maidservants. Does he not remember us? Does he ever speak about us, or has he forgotten us completely? Will he ever forgive us and once again touch us with those hands fragrant with the scent of Aguru? Moving to verse 108. Mahishira Gita Yena Dashmer Sheshe Pandite na bujhe tar artha visheshe. The songs of the queens at Dwarka, which are mentioned at the end of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, have a very special meaning. They are not understood even by the most learned scholars. Purport: these songs of Srimad Bhagavatam are verses 15 to 24 of the 19th chapter of the 10th canto. Kurari Vilapasi Tvam Vita Nitra Na Shesha Shesha शेषे स्वपिति जगति रात्रयाम ईश्वरो गुप्त बोधः वयम इव सखी कचिद गाढ़ निर्भिन्न चेता नलिन नयन हासोदार लीलेक्षितेन. So in 107 verse we were reading about what was said to by Srimati Radharani to the bumblebee and the other gopis, so beautiful they were. And now in this verse 108, the songs of the queens of Dwarka, which is mentioned in the 10th canto of Bhagavatam, which the verse tells us, which is difficult to hear even by the most learned scholar. Let us try to understand with the purport of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So Srila Prabhupada says that Srimad Bhagavatam verses are 15 to 24 of the 19th chapter of the 10th canto. All the queens incessantly thought of Krishna after their pastimes in the water. Our dear friend, the osprey, Krishna is now asleep, but we stay up. You laugh at us when you see us awake at night, but why you are not sleeping? You seem absorbed in thoughts of Krishna. Have you also been pierced by Krishna's smile? His smile is very sweet. One who is pierced by such an arrow is very fortunate. We read the verse earlier for this translation. Now there's the next verse. Netre nimilesi naktam adrishta bandhus tvam rora karunam bata chakravaki dasyam gata vayam ivachyuta pad justam kim va srijam sprihayase kabarena vodham. O Chakravaki, you keep your eyes wide open at night because you cannot see your friend. Indeed, you are suffering very much. Is it because of compassion that you are crying? Or you are trying to capture Krishna by remembering him, having been touched by the lotus feet of Krishna? All the queens are very happy. Are you trying to wear Krishna's garland on your head? Please answer these questions clearly, O Chakravaki, so that we can understand. Bho bhoh sada nishtanase udanvan alabdha nidro adhigata prajagarah kim va mukunda paritatma lanchanah praptam dashamatvam cha gato duratyayam. O ocean, you have no opportunity to sleep quietly at night. Instead, you are always awake and crying. You have received this benediction and your heart is broken just like ours. Mukunda's business with us is simply to smear our marks of kunkuma. O ocean, you suffer as much as we. Tom yakshmana balavatasi grihita indo kshinas tamo na nija didheti bhihi क्षिणोषि कच्चिन् मुकुन्द गदितानि यथा वयं त्वं विस्मृत्य भोः स्थगित गिर उपलक्ष्यसे नः. O moon, you appear to be suffering from a severe fever, perhaps tuberculosis. Indeed, your effulgence does not have the strength to destroy the darkness. Have you become mad after hearing the songs of Krishna? Is that why you're silent? Seeing you suffering, we feel that you are one of us. Kim tva charitam asambhir malaya neel te priyam govinda pang nirbhinne ritayasi nahasmaran. O Malayan breeze, kindly tell us what wrong we have done to you. Why do you fan the flames of desire in our hearts? We have been pierced by the arrow of Govinda's glance, for he is perfect in the art of awakening the influence of the Cupid. Mega Shrimamas Tvam asi daito yadvendrasya nunam Shrivatsankam vayam eva bhavan dhayati prema baddha atyutkantah shabala hridayo asmad vidho bashpa dharaha smritva visrijasi muhur dukkha dasa tat prasangaha. Dear cloud, O friend of Krishna, are you thinking of the Srivatsa symbol on Krishna's chest? Like us queens engaged in loving affairs with him, you are absorbed in meditation, remembering the association of Krishna, and thus you shed tears of misery. Priya Rav Padani Bhashase Mrita Samjivi Kayanyaya Gira Karvani Kim Adya Te Priyam Vadame Valgita Kantha Kokila. Dear Cuckoo, you possess a very sweet voice and you are very expert in imitating others. You could recite even a dead body with your voice. You can excite even a dead body with your voice. Therefore, tell the queens that good behavior is their proper duty. Na chalasi na vadasi udar buddhe kshiti dhara chintyase mahantam artham api bata vasudeva nandanan grihim vayam eva kamyase statnair vidartum. O magnanimous mountain, you are very grave and sober, absorbed in thoughts of doing something very great. Like us, you have vowed to keep within your heart the lotus feet of Krishna, the son of Vasudeva. Shushyad grahdaha karshita bata sindhu patnayaha samprati apast kamala shriya ishta bhartuh yadvad vayam madhu pateha pranayavalokam aprapya mushta hridayah puru karshitah sma. Rivers, wives of the oceans, we see that the ocean does not give you happiness, thus you have almost dried up and you no longer bear beautiful lotuses. The lotuses have become skinny and even in the sunshine they are devoid of all pleasure. Similarly, the hearts of us poor queens are all dried up and our bodies are skinny because we are now devoid of loving affairs with Madhupati. Are you like us, dry without beauty because you are devoid of Krishna's loving glance? Hamsa swagatam asyattam piba payo bruhi ang shaureh katham dutam tvam nu vidam kachid ajitah swasti ast uktam pura kimva nasha chala suridah smrati tam kasmat bajamo vayam kshodra lapaya kamadam shriyamrite savaika nishtha striyam. O swan, you have come here so happily. Let us welcome you. We understand that you are always Krishna's messenger. Now, while you drink this milk, tell us what his message is. Has Krishna said something about us to you? May we inquire from you whether Krishna is happy? We want to know, does he remember us? We know that the goddess of fortune is serving him alone. We are simply maid servants. How can we worship He who speaks sweet words but never fulfills our desires? Verse 109. Mahaprabhu Nityananda Donhara Dasera Das Yare Kripa Karena Tara Haya Ite Vishwas. This is verse 109. If one becomes a servant of the servants of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu and is favored by them, he can believe in all these discourses. Verse 110. Shraddha Kari Shuna Iha Shunite Mahasukha Khandibe Adhyatmikadi Kutarkadi Dukha. Just try to hear these topics with faith, for there is great pleasure even in hearing them. That hearing will destroy all miseries pertaining to the body, mind, and other living entities, and all the unhappiness of false arguments as well. Rebo. Verse 111. Chaitanya Charitamrita Nitya Nutana Shunite Shunite Judai Hriday Shravana. Chaitanya Charitamrita is ever increasingly fresh. Continuously hearing it pacifies one's heart and ear. This was verse 111. Moving to verse 112. Shri Rupa Raghunath Pade Yar Ash Chaitanya Charitamrit Kahe Krishna Das. Praying at the lotus feet of Shri Rupa and Shri Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishna Das, narrate Shri Chaitanya Charitamrit following in their footsteps. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports to the Shri Chaitanya Charitamrit Antilila 19th chapter, describing the Lord's devotion to his mother, his mad speeches in separation from Krishna, his rubbing his face against the walls, and his dancing in the Jagannath Vallabh garden. Thank you for joining. Hariam Tat Sat, Hare Krishna. Hopefully we will conclude the Antilila tomorrow when we finish the reading of chapter 20 tomorrow, the Shikshashtaka prayers. Thank you for joining. Hariam Tat Sat, Hare Krishna. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Srila Prabhupada की जय, सभी भक्त वृंद की जय, पंचतत्व की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल।